What if the leadership advice most people need right now did not come from a CEO, a best-selling author, or a viral entrepreneur? What if it came from a man changing his sweater, speaking slowly, and reminding people they mattered? In a world built on speed, noise, and reaction, maybe the leaders winning today are the ones willing to slow down, listen, and lead with humanity. Today, we are talking about the timeless leadership lessons of Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and Sesame Street.
From First Paw Media, sponsored by Dream Chaser Leadership in Anchorage, Alaska. This is the Peak Experience Podcast. Here we talk about leadership, team building, strategic management, and organizational development. Visit our website, peakexp.org. Now, here are your hosts, Robert and Michelle Forto.
Welcome to the Peak Experience Podcast, where leadership is learned through action, reflection, and real-world experience. I'm Michelle Forto, and today we are exploring an unexpected source of leadership wisdom, the neighborhood of Mr. Rogers and the streets of Sesame Street. These shows shaped generations of children, but they also modeled something many workplaces desperately need today: trust, empathy, clarity, and calm leadership. Let's dive in. The strength of calm leadership. Many leaders think authority must be loud. Fred Rogers proved the opposite. He spoke slowly. He paused. He gave people space to think and feel. He never rushed the moment. That matters in leadership. When teams are under pressure, they often borrow the emotional tone of the leader. If you panic, they panic. If you stay centered, they stabilize. Real leadership is often emotional regulation in public. Before your next difficult meeting, ask yourself, am I bringing calm or chaos? Kindness is not weakness. Too many people confuse kindness with softness. Kindness is strength under control. Kind leaders create psychological safety. They make it easier for people to contribute ideas, admit mistakes, and grow. They build loyalty because people remember how they were treated. Mr. Rogers made people feel seen. Great leaders do the same. Kindness does not mean avoiding accountability. It means delivering truth with dignity. That combination is rare and powerful. Celebrate the person in front of you. One of the core messages of those classic shows was simple: you matter. Every employee, client, student, or team member wants to know the same thing. Do I matter? Strong leaders do not try to force everyone into one mold. They identify strengths, motivations, and unique value. At Dream Chaser Leadership, we teach leaders that performance improves when people are placed where they can thrive, not where they merely fit. Your job is not to clone people. Your job is to develop people. Simplicity wins. Many leaders overcomplicate communication. Too many words, too much jargon, too many mixed signals. Mr. Rogers and Sesame Street understood that clarity builds trust. If your team cannot repeat the mission, priorities, or next step, then communication has failed. Try this simple framework. What do I want them to know? What do I want them to feel? What do I want them to do? Simple communication creates aligned action. We're going to take a short break here, and we will be right back.
Leadership is not learned in comfort. It is forged through challenge, uncertainty, and action. It's time for another memorable moment in leadership history, sponsored by Dream Chaser Leadership and Peak Experience, providing experiential leadership development, strategic coaching, and team building programs designed for real-world results.
Lewis and Clark enter the unknown. In 1804, Lewis and Clark left with incomplete maps and no certainty of what was ahead. They moved anyway. Many leaders wait for perfect clarity. History rewards movement paired with learning. This week's lesson: clarity often follows action. And today's mantra: start before certainty arrives. And we are back. So far, we've been talking about how Mr. Rogers used kindness and a sense of calm to lead people. But he was also a highly effective storyteller. Why? Because stories move people. Facts inform, stories transform. Also, Sesame Street used stories because stories stick. Leadership works the same way. If you want your message remembered, tell the story behind the numbers. Share the lesson behind the challenge. Explain the meaning behind the mission. People rarely remember spreadsheets. They remember stories. Empathy and patience will build trust. Modern leadership often rewards urgency, but trust usually grows slower than that. Fred Rogers modeled patience. He never rushed the connection. As a leader, patience communicates confidence. Empathy communicates respect. When people feel heard, resistance drops. Engagement rises, and sometimes the fastest way forward is to slow down long enough to understand what is really happening. To wrap things up, we live in a world full of noise, division, and speed. That may be exactly why these lessons matter now more than ever. Lead calmly, speak clearly, treat people with dignity. Use your influence to strengthen others. That is timeless leadership. And maybe, just maybe, it is a beautiful day to practice it. So, if this episode resonated with you, share it with a leader who really needs this reminder. And if your organization is ready to build stronger teams through experiential leadership training, coaching, or workshops, visit Peak Experience and learn how we help leaders grow through challenge, reflection, and action.
From First Paw Media, this is the Peak Experience Podcast. We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we invite you to subscribe in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. You will find a link in our episode notes. You can tap or swipe on the episode cover art, and you'll see some offers from our sponsors. You can support our show by supporting them. If you like what you have heard, we would love it if you would give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe too. Our producer is Robert Forto and created by First Paw Media.